Ugh, Tyrone rasped. Why are you always so slow, though? I'm not slow, they said. We can't multitask like this anymore, remember? We're not allowed to anymore. It's post pandemic times, man. I know, but nobody's around, nobody's watching. Let's just talk and jog like light. They looked at Tyrone. Both of them stopped. They looked into Tyrone's eyes and reminded him, nothing will ever be the same. We're not in a talk and jog neighborhood, and we're not allowed out of it right now. So don't mind me if I'm hella fucking serious and super strict so that both of us can stay alive and also not get shot or given away by helpful neighbors. Tyrone just tisked and shook his head and looked at the ground and then looked back up at them. You right. Well, we can walk and talk, right? Yes, they said. Just keep your mask on and pace yourself. We're always being watched and maybe even recorded. You don't know. Motherfuckers get bored. Let's just pace ourselves. If you want to get all excited and hyphy, we know we can exercise inside. Yeah, but that's boring. Right. So if you want to entertain yourself and be more stimulated, which is a privilege right now, we just have to follow a couple more strict rules. So let's just walk and talk, okay? Okay, girl, okay. You know how I feel about that pronoun. Sorry. I meant okay. So she called you a what? No. They said. She didn't call me anything this time. She just said, my place was filthy and stinky. What? Well, she's in a different echelon? In an estuary? No. Uh, she's in a different, she lives a different life. You trying to say she has more money? I mean, money's energy, right? So I try not to think about that. That's why you having all these problems, because you ain't be thinking about that. Go on. Yeah, so she said she just didn't approve of my place, okay? But it was kind of a blessing in disguise because she brought up the robot thing. Oh, tight. Yeah. When are you going to get one of those? Well, they're expensive. I know, but you was going to build one. I was. Well, I was. I can. I was just researching, and it's expensive to get the parts. And why don't you just, look on the. There's nowhere to look. There's nowhere to research. This is a very particular type of a device that I need. Well, you want it. You don't need nothing, right? I think I need it. I'm having trouble functioning normally, and it is for differently abled souls. So, like, you know, my physical is okay, but my mental, my spirit is not okay. And these are the types of robots that can help people with that. You have to go through an exam. They check all your parts, everything, mental, physical. They check your spirituality. And if your rating is right, then you're approved to get a robot, but you still have to purchase it. And I can't afford it right now. And I don't know if I have the skill to build one. Can you get a used one? Well, because of the sensitivity of the matter of the type of robot it is, you really do have to build it. It has to be bespoke. Oh, I know it talks. Oh, no. It has to be custom built, you know? Oh, I know. Okay. So then why don't you just do it? They thought about it. It was the robot of their dreams because, well, they didn't tell Tyrone this, but the particular model, yes, it is for people with special psycho-spiritual needs, but there's an extra fancy custom option where it can be custom built to look just like your most recent ex. It has to be the most recent ex. They don't want you to bury yourself too deep into past traumas. And you have to qualify. You have to have a certain amount of traumas on the checklist. And you also have to be qualified from your own hierarchy of needs. You have to draft your own hierarchy of needs, and it's approved by the highest order of counselors in your district. So there's other really super personal hoops you have to jump through, and they didn't want to get into all that with Tyrone. Just make it more of a medical issue, and talk around it. And most people don't ask that many questions, and it's a private robot at first, so people don't know for a long time, and Zoe can't know all the particulars. So it's just going to be a helper device. They told themselves, just a helper device. A helper device that they would fantasize about all through the day and all through the night, because they would build it with their own hands, and it would tell them everything that Zoe never wanted to or could tell them. And they would program it just right, see, so it would say all the right things at the right times, and they would program in these cherry ASMR features, and it would lull them to sleep and wake them up with a smiling sun, and everything would seem okay again, and their productivity score would rise again. They would get a libido back. That's another module. They didn't need to think about that module right now. They just needed to think about building it. Ooh, I know that look. You talking to yourself again, right? Tyrone said. You know me too well, they said back. You gonna need that robot thing right away. Best get started.